Priya here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're stopping by, thank you. Welcome. And for today, we're going to be filming for the week of September 17th through the 24th. And we are going to be using the Windy City set of sticker sheets from Katelyn Plans. These are 2 sheets. And I printed them on paper and clear, and that's why, and I have already pulled out from the clear sheet, so that's why a lot of them are missing. In addition to that, I have the funky fungi, which is part of I'm trying to make a spread for the theme so much room for fall, as in so much room for fall, with hashtag international HP collab, which I host with my friends. So the theme for September is so much room for fall, and I wanted to incorporate that. In addition to that, I will have a fall look from the houses and trees parts 1 and 2. As a filming, these are all in stock, and the 2 functional books. And I also intend to have some words, so just pulled out the alphabets, and I also printed some quotes and the months, totally inspired by Michelle. If you don't follow her, please go do it. She has so many fun creative ideas. I'm going with the coordinating colors. These are all from Planything, and I would appreciate it if you use my affiliate code Priya10. It'll save you 10%. And this is from Daiso and the washi tape shop, the script washi. And this is how it rolls out. It gives us such a fun element. It gives you so many layers. So let's keep going. And I wanted the skyline, the Chicago skyline, to have that watery effect of Lake Michigan, which it sits next to. So I'm just using just a tiny bit of the washi tape to give it that effect. It does give it a lot of depth, I must say. And I just want the skyline to be the main attraction, and then the fall leaves, the branches, the twigs, and all the foliage, it just peaks from certain parts of the page. So that should give it just a tiny bit will do, and that way it will just give that nice pop of color against the black and the blue, which are already on the page. So I just put down the Chicago Theater and the Willie's Tower, and I'm adding some boxes for the functional aspects, along with some washi tapes from Planything at the bottom. And I'm bringing in the houses and trees, and added a couple of branches on the side here. And I really am not liking that paint on the box. You'll see I get so uncomfortable with that I end up switching it for another box. So I just went with the washies at the bottom there. And moving on to the next page, I want the Millennium Park and some of the I'm just going to the houses and trees to show you which buildings I'm using. I just pre-made a cluster so that it's easier. I just lay down the buildings with the giant bean from the Millennium Park behind, in the front there rather. So many fond memories of Chicago. Both my boys were born there, and I remember when my younger one was born, my husband used to take my elder son, who was 2 at that time, to Millennium Park every weekend, or at least whenever he could, because we were in the suburbs. So my son used to have a lot of fun chasing the pigeons, playing in the water features and the fountains and all the things that they had in the Millennium Park, with, of course, the giant bean, which he did not care about at that point because, yeah, it's just a big thing there. But yeah, there was far more interesting things around that. So he loved going to, like any other child, he loves going to parks. He still does, but not as much as he used to love it. So Chicago has a very special place in my heart, and yeah, so that's why I wanted to include Chicago for this week. This week it's my elder one's birthday, so he did not want anything to do with a festive or a birthday spread at all. So I brought in some Chicago. I'm just playing around with that, trying to get the building to sit down straight, and there we go. And yeah, again, it looks like it's crooked again. So just getting it down straight, and I'm just using my bone folder to lay it all down, and I just cut around the edges of the bean with using that precision cutter. Brought in my couple of functional boxes there. Sorry, my voice is a bit froggy and all that. I'm recovering from a cold, and I will need to bring in the pigeons, but I'll wait on that. Going with the deep dish pizza and the hot dog now. Trying to lay it down and see how I can make the full pizza visible, because I don't want the some parts of it to actually get trimmed off. You have to see the full pizza to know exactly what it is. So just trying to position it and trimming off just the bottom so that it can be put snug against that box, and positioning it right there before I go in to white out the line behind the pizza, since it's a clear sticker. Now going with the washi tapes at the bottom, so that it can have some functional elements there. Just bringing in the second layer of washi. Looks like it's crooked. I'll fix it before I move on to the hot dog. Yeah, the hot dog also can fit right there. Again, whiting out the line behind the sticker. Using my Uniball signal. And one tip from me is, especially the whiteouts like these, store the pen upside down for more juicy flow. Otherwise, you may not get a very smooth flow. And moving to the other side, I want to incorporate the Michigan Avenue, the Magnificent Mile board there, the sign with the shopping bags. So trying to do some layering here, but I also want to bring in that box, but I'll wait on that. Trying to see how I can bring some fall colors to pull everything together, because it's after all fall in Chicago. Going back to the book to grab another smaller element, maybe like a shrub or a grass. So both of these books have great layering elements and clustering elements you can pull from. So I'm just going for that small bush. So I'll just lift that hexagon sticker, just trimming off the bottom a bit. And Planything stickers are it's a bit thicker than what you normally find, which is a good thing because you do not have the risk of tearing the stickers. The quotes now. So these quotes I printed on my Cricut. I just picked a couple of quotes from Google. I just used my Cricut to print and cut them. It was totally inspired by Michelle, who does it all the time. And if you do not follow Michelle, you're missing out on a lot of excellent content. I can tell you that. So please do check her out. I'll tag her here. And I'm just trying to see where I can include the quote. I think it'll go near the skyline because it's called a windy city because you have because of all these tall buildings, you have wind tunnels that bring in all the cold air and the freezing cold air from Lake Michigan. So I'm bringing in that coat, doing some sticker surgery there because it is not fitting in as a whole piece. So I just cut it into smaller, I've cut it word by word so that I can have a bit more flexibility on that. So I'm just doing it from the bottom, trying to layer it. I do have quite a bit of offset, and that's why you see the clear paper lots more, because that way there is always you have the option of cutting it smaller. You cannot without risking the actual word being cut off. So yeah, major sticker surgery here. I'm just making sure I'm having the coat right, otherwise you don't want a messed up coat. Laying down stickers, it needs to be straight. Again, I'm going with the same look on the top as well. I'm whiting that out because I have printed out the letters, the month September in the same font. So I'm getting the branch to actually come from the top. Looks like the branches are coming from the top. So I'm using the scrap to fill some more space, just trying to lay it down and get the position right, maximizing the use of the scrap. It gives an illusion of more branches being there. And that's my spread from last week. In case you missed it, that was my first video. Please go watch it if you haven't. I'll link it here. So now going with the month rather, and just pressing down on all the elements there. Trying to fill in that gap between the hexagons with another tree upside down. You need not put the trees upside down. You can have them come out from multiple directions, giving it a whole new different look. Moving on to the other side, I want that big coat right there, and trying to position it so that we can you can make do without further sticker surgery. And trying to position it and see how much whiting out I have to do, because the lines get seen very clearly. And it will go down pretty well. Just let it dry for a second for a cleaner look. It should be good, no problem. Just have it straight, and then we need to see what else we can pull in. We have some more. The pigeons need to come in, and yeah, one guy goes there. The other one, it went on top, but I did not quite like it, so it is coming straight off. Yeah, I did not like that. And careful with the clear stickers. They're very, very fragile. Ripping them is so easy. Just trimming off the extra offset at the bottom. So indecisive with these things. Just trying to figure out where the pigeon should go. And yeah, that looks about right. Going in with the bone folder. And now for the functional boxes. This time I'm going with a bit of a contrasting color next to each other. I'm doing some clustering again, but again without making sure the same colors are not right next to each other. So just playing around with that a bit, so that it can get a very similar look, but not exactly how it was on the other page. Adding some of the tree branches now, some more tree stumps and branches peeking in from multiple places. I again want some more color there, but not a bit too much, just a bit, because I already have included some trees behind the skyscrapers. I totally forgot about these guys, so I'm trying to include them in between these clusters I already made. Because those are much bigger, so trying to fit it in without affecting too much of the already Chicago skyline on the page. And there needs to be a couple near the pigeon. Yeah, there is some layering opportunity I see. And mushrooms do I've not particularly seen them in Millennium Park, but I'm sure it is in the city too. And now finally pulling up that box, going in with that skyscraper decorated, that box with the skyscraper decorated, I mean, already in there. Just including the last set of mushrooms, and that is all the decorative aspects. Went in with some bullet points, and now adding the stars from Katelyn's sheet. Thank you for watching, and let's recap. We went with the autumn, the houses and trees and the boxes, the windy city from Katelyn, and also the funky fungi and the washi tape from Planything and Daisy. And that was a quick recap, and thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.